Hello friends, it is so lovely to see you this morning. Imagine you're in high school and some older man comes to woo you by taking you on a hot date to Jack in the Box. At first you think he's a little weird, for obvious reasons, but then you take a look at your traumatizing childhood and think, what the heck? What's more trauma? So here you are at 18, married to a 25-year-old who is suing you for not being organized enough. So friends, grab your coffees, because you're gonna want something to sip on to swallow this tough case.
You are here bringing your wife Amber to court?
Yes.
For what?
She has a huge problem with organization, and I've been running a business for over 5 years now, and I need somebody that's gonna be grown up and mature and organized and help me with my business and running my household, and I would like for her to get help and be able to take like an organization class or get somebody to help her organize.
How long have you been married?
About a year this October.
Oh, so not quite a year yet.
Yeah.
All right, is the honeymoon over?
Not quite, but yeah.
Amber, is the honeymoon over?
That's debatable.
Ooh, okay. Go ahead then.
Perfect example of how unorganized she is. Ask where her purse is right now.
All right.
She doesn't have her purse. She doesn't know where it's at, what happened to it, or in fact, I have the stuff that should be in her purse in my pockets.
Do you think you're unorganized?
No, I don't.
All right, so you think your husband's making all of this up?
I think he has a different definition of organization than I do.
All right. Now, you're a young couple. You're 25.
Yes.
And you're 18. Mm-hmm. So you've been married about 8 months.
Yeah.
You have a business.
Yes.
What kind of business is it?
We have 3 businesses. I started off the businesses. Me and my mom has the antique business, and I did the scrapping. And when we got married, she brought up the point that I already have the trucks, and it would be no big deal to start a hauling business. So we started doing it, and we called it FAR.
That was smart.
We called it FAR Hauling, which is our initials, Forrest and Amber Russell, and it just happened to spell for her. So.
All right. So not only are you married, but you're business partners.
Yes.
I heard you say you and your mother were in the antique business together.
Correct.
So you're a big guy, but would you call yourself a mama's boy?
Oh yeah, I know I am.
Oh, okay. All right. I figured that.
Yeah. She basically, other than before my wife came along, she was my best friend basically.
So when you went out to look for a wife, were you looking for a wife that was like your mom?
Yeah.
If you were looking for a wife that was like your mom, why did you go to the local high school to find a wife? Because I'm pretty sure if she's 18 and you've been married for 8 months, there had to have been some kind of correspondence while she was still a minor. And buddy, you're nowhere near being a minor. 6 years older? 6 years. So when you said you want a wife who's grown up, like, is there a grown up in the room with us? Because, sir, no wonder she's not being grown up. She's been an adult for less than a year. What do you expect? She was a child not that long ago. And now you're getting on her case because she doesn't know how to organize? It's a good thing you're wearing red today, because we love a visual representation of the red flags that you're showing us. And I'd be remiss to not comment on the fact that this girl's glasses are absolutely ridiculous. Like, girl, I need you to take a look in the mirror and think maybe you should get lenses that are at least a little bit bigger than your eyeballs. I mean, his kind of match the vibe, you know, the aviator glasses, that's like typical, like, creepy pedophile glasses. So like his like suit him. But girl, like you could be doing so much better. You could have gotten a guy way better than this dude if you had waited, I don't know, maybe a couple years out of high school and not just immediately going with the guy who picked you up in his van with the free candy sign. But clearly she has issues because she doesn't know how to be organized. Right.
Figured that.
I got most of it.
You did. The part that you didn't get is why we were in court today?
Yes.
I figured that. Boy, you making this too easy for me.
That's fine.
All right. Do you all live at home with your
Yes.
parents?
On the property.
Okay, so in other words, there's family property, two houses on the same property?
Yeah, we have enough acreage.
Oh, You live in one and they live in the other house.
Yeah,
But they're next door.
basically, yeah.
Okay, so her mother-in-law lives next door.
Yeah, that's just in the last month we had our own house, but our lease was up on it.
All right. So you both have similar backgrounds when it comes to having the same family structure in terms of growing up?
No. His parents are still together. My parents got divorced when I was 9, and I've never really had a relationship with either of them. I have a relationship with my mom now. My dad passed away about a month ago, so we never really did build a relationship on there. We always moved a lot. I've lived in at least 38 of the continental states. You know,
Really?
I've moved a lot, so I'm used to...
Were they military people?
No, I don't know.
Why would you at 9 not live with your parents?
I lived with my grandparents because my mom had some problems that she couldn't have kids around to deal with.
I see.
So I lived
Was
with my
she
grand.
into substance or mental
Yeah.
illness? It was substance abuse?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And my younger brother and sister stayed with my mom's grandparents because my dad's grandparents, where I was living, they already had 8 kids living there, and they could only fit 1.
Yeah.
So I stayed with them. My older siblings stayed with my aunt and uncle. And I stayed with my grandparents in Georgia for a long time. And then when my mom got kind of better, you know, we all moved back in with her, but I couldn't deal with the background. You know what I
Sure.
mean? So I moved in with my sister to get away from that. And then I ended up moving to Chicago when my sister joined in the military to stay with a friend of mine. And then I came out here to California.
You knew about all of her life?
Yes.
Okay. So you do agree or do you understand that a lot of times, yes, we all make decisions now, but a lot of the ways we make decisions is based on where we've come from.
No, I don't believe that's always accurate.
You don't believe that so?
Buddy, she just explained the most unstable childhood you can think of, where she would have like 0 opportunity to learn organizational skills. The fact that she's moved to 38 different states in her 18 years of life. Like, what? When would she have been able to learn that skill? And you're in here saying, nah, she's just choosing to be that way because she hates me and I want her to be exactly like my mommy. I would marry my mommy if I could, but there are laws against it. No wonder this guy went to a high school to find a wife, because he knows that the younger you get a girl, the more and more you can manipulate her and mold her into exactly what you want her to be. And she's over here dealing with all of the childhood trauma, not having a relationship with her parents, not ever having a real home in her childhood, no sense of stability or real unconditional love from a caregiver. She was your perfect target. That is like every manipulator's dream, is to have someone like her, because all she wants is love and for someone to care for her, and she's gonna do everything possible to get you to love her.
Well, I believe we're the total sum of all of our experiences. And I believe when you're an adult, you make certain decisions. And I absolutely believe, and you don't have to agree,
That's fine.
that some of those decisions are based on how you lived your life. In other words, you may raise your children based on how you were raised. Not all the time, but I think it absolutely is some factor. Maybe it's not an overwhelming factor, but I think it may be. How did you guys meet?
A friend of mine, she was the babysitter. Kind of went from that to, I'm hungry, let's go get some Jack in the Box, to let's go catch a show, to what it is now. Once we started dating, and
You went from the Jack-a-box to 8 months later, we in court.
I am just now realizing that my brother reacted to this video because that let's go get some Jack in the Box was like triggering a memory in my mind of how uncomfortable I felt when he showed me that clip.
You went from the Jack-a-box to 8 months later, we in court.
I went from, I'm hungry, lady. Let's get some Jack in the Box. I'm gonna eat your box.
Oh my gosh, having war flashbacks. This man really, he's a winner. He's a real winner.
Was it love at first sight or what?
I feel so.
More so love at third.
Love at third sight? Why is that, baby?
The first time I met him, I thought he was kind of weird.
Okay, so when did the juices start to flow? I mean, when did the Cupid and the love, when
About
did it
February
happen?
last year.
Yeah, I know last year, but at what point?
I asked her if she knew if she was religious at all, and she said kind of sorta. And well, come check out my church, and then we were able to give us the opportunity to be able to safe, free zone that we were able to talk more and not feel threatened and so on and so forth.
I see. So when did the juices start to flow?
I couldn't give you the exact date and time and minute and second.
can.
I don't know.
I'm a minister.
I'm sure she could.
So let me tell you this. I'm a minister, so I know a lot of times people meet at church, and that's a nice thing. When did the juices start to flow, honey? When you looked in his eyes and you said, was the choir singing or was the preacher preaching?
I don't know if we should talk about flowing juices on family court, but
Okay. Well, I didn't mean it that way. No.
Amber,
Oh,
no.
Is that what you all are thinking? No, I'm a good judge. I didn't mean that juice.
Oh, Judge Penny, bless your heart. I believe you didn't insinuate that juice, but for us foul-minded folk, that's right where it went. Now, for him, it may have gone to the juices of a Jack-in-the-Box burger. For her, it might have meant, the juice box that you get with your lunch at school. But when we're talking about juices between two people who are in relations with one another, there's really only one juice that comes to mind.
I meant, when did the love? Let me say it. That's what you thought I meant? Oh, y'all. That's why I'm having a pull team. I don't want to know about your business like that.
Like, what do you need to know that for?
Yeah. I meant, when did you realize that you loved each other?
February 22nd of last year.
Okay, I gotta watch how I say things. I didn't mean it like that.
I took her up a ginormous mountain, kind of cornered her and conned her into kissing me, and
And you wanted
she
to.
didn't stop, and that was cool.
Okay.
She kissed me back, and that was rather nice.
That's what I'm talking about. See, that's the part I was trying to see. Now, I'm going to give you my philosophy of things before we start working through the problem. First thing is, when you find a mate, there's always going to be things about your mate that annoys you. I agree. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Are there things about him that annoy you? Because he's already said.
I'm sure.
Okay. Yeah. We can all agree to that. What you try to do is the 70-30 rule.
Oh, yeah, we did the 80-20. Yeah.
80-20?
I was looking for a miss 80%.
80% of what
80%
you
of
like.
what I can handle, and the other 20%
20% you have to let go.
Yeah.
The problem in marriages and why we end up in divorce is we tend to focus on the 20% of what's wrong. And you stay there too long instead of making your mind immediately go to the 80%. But I think now for you to be in court, the 20% has really taken over.
A bit.
I think so. Because it's annoying you so much that you felt like you could come to court about it. How involved, because you live next to your parents, how involved is your mother or your parents in your current relationship?
Well, my father has really no opinion on the matter.
What about your mom? I know she has an opinion. I can feel it. How involved is your mother in your current relationship?
Basically, the common thing that she says the most is, I understand that she's 18 and all, but it's time to woman up. It's time to, you're a grown woman, you're married, and you need to start acting like it. But she never says that to her, and I end up having to relay the message, and that's not always swell.
And then you end up getting you're in the middle.
It's like, y'all talk to each other, don't talk to me about it.
Yeah, I can see what was going on. Yeah.
She feels that my mother doesn't like her and she's never going to be good enough, and which isn't the case at all.
You don't think so?
She just my mom actually likes her.
Okay, well, let's talk to Amber and see. Amber, why did you get married to Forrest?
Because I love him. That's the bottom line. We haven't been married long enough to be here.
That's okay, though. Do you resent being here?
Yeah.
I could tell. I know.
Um,
Are you sad about it?
yeah.
I know. But you're in a good place. Because maybe coming, we can try to work on some things.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah, sweetheart, we can. If you love him and he loves you, Do you think that your mother-in-law is interfering in your relationship?
I feel that way a lot of the time because she always, sorry.
That's all right.
Thank you. I feel like she should be woman enough to come to me and tell me what's wrong. You know, I can't fix it if I don't know about it. And I'm not one for messengers. You know, I need to hear it or, you know, come to me and tell me if there's something wrong. I can't fix it if I don't know. I always feel like I'm interfering. You know, like I'm still considered a guest in the house. And I feel like I've been there long enough to be considered family, and I'm not.
I know, honey. Especially when you've been all over the place looking for a family. And you would end up right back where you started. That's why Judge had to start with where you came from so I could see what's happening with you. And I can see it and I can feel it because it's not a good feeling. But if you're hurting like this is something your husband needs to see. Because see, all her life, all she's ever wanted was a family.
Right.
And you're that for her.
I know that.
So imagine living someplace, feeling like you're an outsider. And you're the man of the house and she's looking to you. So a lot of what you think is disorganization is maybe acting out or crying out for a place of her own. And why would you keep up something and be organized if you don't even feel like it's yours? You see?
Judge Penny, can we just take this poor young girl out of this situation? I mean, she's just reliving the trauma of her childhood now with her husband, who, mind you, is 6 years older than her. It's almost like he got a wife just to make his life easier, not to actually have a partnership where you bear each other's burdens and put each other first. No, he just thought, I'll get a wife, she'll be my servant, and now that she's not acting in the way that I need her to, I gotta take her to court to whip her into shape. My mommy agrees with me. At what point would it ever be something that you should do to relay the information of how disappointed your mother is in your spouse? Like, that's like marriage 101. Don't be putting your parents in between you and your wife. Don't be going to your wife being like, my mommy says that you need to grow up and be more organized. And so what mommy says goes, cause mommy is everything. Like, buddy, you say your wife needs to grow up and become a woman? Talk about needing to grow up and become a man and stop listening to whatever his mommy says. A real man, especially a man of God, is the head of the household. And if you are leading your wife in a way that is honoring to God, it wouldn't be looking like this, now would it? Husbands, love your wives. Patient, kindness, selflessness, laying down your life. I don't see you doing that. I don't even think you'd give up your last chicken nugget for her. So if you want to be in here claiming to be a man who has a wife who needs to be whipped into shape, you gotta start acting the part.
This is something I feel that I need to say is because I said to her like days before the wedding, and I made sure it was very clear. Basically, before I got married, I told her, I will never be able to buy you that house that you want, or that car you want, or that wardrobe you want, or whatever it is that you want. I won't be able to get it for you, but I might be able to get you something close. And she was okay with that, so. If I could afford to go get an apartment or go get a house, I would. But the bottom line is I can't.
It's so wonderful for a man to say, I can't give you all of those things, but this is what I can do, but I can love you. And you're giving her more than any mansions or anything if you give her love. But what you have to do, and it puts you in a bad position, is for a very long time, it's been you and your mother. Once you marry your wife,
It's forever.
you leave all others behind, and then it becomes your wife. And so what I'm thinking may have to happen is you may have to put some ground rules down and say to your mother in a very respectful way, Mother, I love you so much, but this is my wife. And I'm not carrying any messages anymore for you to her, because to do so is very hurtful to my wife. You came in here to ask me to help her get some counseling with organization. I know you're a macho guy, But do you think you would be open to going to some counseling for the two of you?
Well, I definitely think we could use it. Or I feel that we're both having issues with adjustment.
You both love each other, but you're both crying about this because you need some answers. Do you think counseling would help you all?
I think it really would.
Okay. I thank you for your honesty, but rather than sending her to an organizational counselor, I think both of you all need to go. And I admire you so much because I know how macho you are and how much she says you don't like communicating. And so for you to come from no communication to being macho to crying and telling me you'll go to counseling, you're probably one of the reasons why I wear this robe now. You know?
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do, as opposed to sending your wife to organizational counseling, why don't I send you all to some marriage counseling? Court stands adjourned. You're headed to marriage counseling.
I feel her verdict is very on the ball. I'm very pleased with what she had to say.
I think the verdict was good. I think counseling would really help us. I think we just need to talk and communicate a little better.
After leaving family court, Forrest and Amber say they are closer than ever. Forrest says he finally put his foot down and told his mother that if she needs to tell Amber something, she should go directly to her.
Well, I am happy that they are getting some professional help. If they're gonna be married, they definitely need some guidance, for sure. Whether or not I agree with the fact that there's a 25-year-old who is married to a freshly 18-year-old girl is neither here nor there. At the end of the day, they're married, and hopefully they can make it work in a way that is healthy and honoring to one another. But I'm curious to know your thoughts on this case. What do you think about this couple? Do you think it's a little shady? Do you think they have what it takes to save their marriage? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave a like and a follow, and I'll see you guys next time.